tagline.
They won't do it.
When you're in bluegrass, you just, I want to paint your bluegrass black. Bring that one back.
I'll get one of the heels to say it.
Oh man.
The SHug, Shane Hollister. Logan, Ineichen. Lyndon, Ehlers. Wrastlin with music and life. For life.
Wrastlin with Music and Life episode. Who knows?
I forgot.
We ain't keeping track anymore because honestly, it's been a month since we've done this. And if you can see behind me, we've upgraded
rad.
a little bit. We're going to continue to upgrade. And right now we're at, I think, 0.1 version of this new Spider Hall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We got out of the basement and now we're in a room.
Yeah.
And we've normalized. And I know a lot of people got used to the spider hole. The spider hole got laid to rest. And it will be somebody else's spider hole. Some other family spider hole in the future. The spiders, they miss us. All right. I want to get into it. It's been like literally a month. Last time I seen this man, Shuggy, we went to another man's concert together, which is kind of a rarity. If those watching right now know, I don't get out very often. With that said, that show was the shit.
Dude, it was awesome. Top to bottom.
Top to bottom, just camaraderie is the best way to say it. Every person there either knew somebody I knew or I knew them. And it was just cool to meet new people and get out there. So there was a late show for me, man. I was fucking hurting hard, especially
going to work the next day.
Woo, I'm glad I didn't have to, but yeah, it was a late day. And it was like one of those eye-opening things where I'm like, oh, okay. Like midnight?
That's late, bro. It's at this point, even after wrestling shows, like I am tired, dude.
Right.
Like I could fall asleep if I'm not having a good conversation, like on my way home, like on those ones where I do Chicago trips, those 3-hour rides.
Right.
If I wasn't having a good conversation with the guys in the car, I would definitely be fucking asleep. Like,
well, you kind of understand more, even though like we just went to a show and just could leave, and those guys still have to stay and like get their shit and do a bunch of stuff. But it just reminds you that like you just said, the camaraderie of things. If you are a pro wrestler, whatever you are, and you're a traveling artist, you got to have a group of people that are like minded. And I think that's another thing, like especially with music. If you are in a band and you have 5 people and one person just pisses the other 4 off, I mean, you can have your fun, but I could just, I guess now I just know why all bands break up. And then I go like, okay, well, that's duh. But then you're like, nah, I didn't put the 2 and 2 together till now. I don't know why. But yeah, what's up?
It reminds me of a time where Nick and Colby weren't getting along. So instead of Nick usually riding up front, he said, fuck that. And he jumped in the back seat and put headphones on. And Colby fucking hated that. It was one of those things where, like, I think it was like if Colby's driving, he's in control of the music. Yeah. And it's kind of like, you have to listen to what I'm listening to, motherfucker. And Nick was like, no, fuck that. I'm going to put my headphones on. So yeah, again, like, think about that. You're in a car with a guy who's pissed off at you in some way for some reason.
Right.
And instead of any conversation, he's just got headphones on. Not a part of the conversation at all.
Because you get to that point sometimes, with everybody. I was going to say maybe, I said the scenario of just one person sucking, but like you all kind of start to suck if you're on the road that much. And
yeah, man.
And again, touring in bands that I like, they don't really do a full year tour. They do like a month out of the whole year.
Yeah.
Like Morbid Angel has this new tour and they're coming in Joliet, Illinois at the Forge, which I'm really.
Who are they touring with?
A bunch of really good bands, and I am just like fucking blanking right
Lyndon
now.
should try to jump on that show.
We already tried. Rift. And they said to Brandon Park, thanks for reaching out, B Park. But they told him, hey, it's no local acts because they have like 6 bands.
Oh shit, yeah.
So,
There's like no room. Fuck.
And it's professional ass bands.
Yeah.
Some bands that I'm pretty sure I really want to see, but I'm just blanking. So either way, my point was Morbid Angel comes through. They're only tour for a month and a half at the most, and they're done for the rest of the year. Now, a band like that, and again, sucks if we didn't get to deal with Rob Halford and Queensryche and
all my friends were putting stuff up on Snapchat, and I was kicking myself because Derek hit me up and he's like, "Hey man, I'm going."
Oh yeah,
and I had already in my head was like, "Fuck this! It's Halloween weekend. I'm going out." And realistically, everything I did, I still could have done if I would have went to the concert.
Right.
Like I mean, again, I kind of jumped the gun on going out and got too hammered too fast.
Well, my situation was the night before me and Ehlers went to Bert Kreischer, which is a comedian. He was really good. I just, it sucks for me because I watch so many podcasts with him. I already know his jokes. I've heard them before. And I mean, to me, again, another situation where I went out and it was already like 10 when he got on the stage or 9 or something. And I'm just like, huh? What's going on? I wake up at 5 a.m. People.
Yeah, dude.
Like
it's brutal sometimes.
4:45. So it's like, yeah, that comes quick the next day too. But we went to that concert, and then the next day was that concert, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to be like, I don't know. I knew it was going to be difficult because we have our son, and he's a little 10-month-old, and it's like he's already getting to the point where he just like starting to say stuff, and I'm just like, well, if we don't have a babysitter, we're screwed. And that's kind of what it went. I was telling her to, just go and whatever, but she was just kind of feeling like, we already went to a concert, but we're old.
Yeah, dude.
We just, it's just a situation, and I don't know. But the cool thing about Bert, to get back to our original point, is that he has a camaraderie. He brings people that make his trip worth it. Like a person... who was he had somebody before him I kind of know, but I just know that the guy drinks. So he brings people that he knows are going to like party and not be a little Debbie Downer and shit. And, anyway, it's just, that's what you need when you're in like an industry where you need people. Yeah. By the way, the new Spider Hall's got a little heat.
It's warm. It's warm in here. Turn off my new hoodie. I'm fine.
That's why I'm in shorts right now. I was like, fuck.
Good. I should have wore shorts.
But yeah, again.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me, dude.
The first foul of the evening, the SHug.
I knew it. I thought I put it on silent. They don't want him to have a good
time at the Spider Hall.
It's only my daughter. I'll call her back. It's fine.
So yeah, and again, it's been 4 weeks. You've had a few shows. It looks like you had a show last night. And let's get into that. The Shuggy Woogie.
Take it away. So, man, I'm trying to think of how many shows I have done.
Well, just think about the one last night.
All right, so last night was our debut at the Bluegrass Community Center.
Sweet. And
we pretty much sold that motherfucker out.
Looked like it.
Oh, dude, it was packed. Like, we had this, our dressing room or locker room or whatever was fucking huge compared to like the Coliseum or even... Wildwood or anything like that. Like, it was huge. Like, so if you wanted to like run through spots or anything, you had plenty of fucking room. But like, and again, we had this giant monitor, like TV, that we had set up for the hard cam, and we could see the people coming in. It was fucking awesome.
Dude, that's dope.
Yeah. It was a good time, and the crowd was into fucking everything. It was great. Nice. I love it. I don't know. I had a blast.
I'm trying to think, because it's been a while since. Where in Bluegrass?
At the community center, like right after you get in town.
Yeah.
It's like your first right. If you were coming from like Davenport or what is that, 61? So you take the exit. After you get in town, it's like the first right, and then there's like it's a giant community center, like right there.
Okay, I've probably been there.
Oh, dude, it is. It would be a sweet venue for bands to play too. Like, it was rad.
I don't know how many bands are going to travel to Bluegrass.
But, I know, right? But like, I meant like if local bands ever wanted to like put on a show or whatever. But again, we also have like the Raccoon Motel, so why would you go out to Bluegrass? So,
and I want to say, man, that place has its shit together with that. That was a really, really good sound. I didn't really. Okay, well, the sound guy I've heard of, and I don't know if he's actually been a sound guy for me once. I feel like he has, but his name's Chicken Boy. And Chicken Boy, you did a really good job, bud.
Dude, everything sounded good.
Everything sounded good. And some of those bands, not even to knock, I bet you they don't sound that good frequently. And I don't want to say it like that because it sounds like they were bad. They were great bands. I just mean like he enhanced your guys' sound a lot.
For sure.
And a lot of people, that's the same thing that goes with the production of SCW is like they're enhancing you. That's why when you got that fucking big ass Tron, somebody had to put that together and it wasn't you. And you have to commend those people, Sound guy, I don't know if you probably have a sound guy, I would assume. SCW.
Yeah, I mean, it's, he's also part owner, Sean Morrow. We used to have like a regular sound guy.
Okay.
But like Sean does like, when that bar was open, like the country bar over what the heck is it called? Over in Rock Island. I can't remember the name of that bar. They used to have the mechanical bowl in there and everything.
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah, but he used to do.
I never ventured.
He used to DJ over there.
Okay.
And so did Bob, Coach Bob. Coach Bob used to DJ over there
Bob,
too.
Fuck. So, good dude.
But yeah, like Sean does sound and like DJs and stuff, but it's not like sound like this, like what you do. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's not like a sound guy. It's a little different in the sense of like he just hits a button. If it works. He's got to have his timing down with our videos because sometimes we have videos that play like for promos and stuff. But,
I'm sure there's a lot to it.
Oh yeah,
it's
not more than just I'm making it simplistic as he's just hitting a button, but he's not obviously. Yeah. And he's got to have the timing down. He's got to know when to hit music, especially in certain segments. Or
do it right now, not tomorrow, Sean. Anyway, and again we'll get back to. I was just saying like. The amount of people that go into a show, it's something you have to commend, and a lot of people don't, and I commend it, and I just want to say their sound was amazing. All the bands were amazing. And how was your match, man?
Dude, all right, so I had this long feud with JT Energy, and at the end of the feud, we turned him babyface. So after this long feud, me and him tagged, like last night, and the guy who takes pictures is like, something I had never thought I'd ever see is Shane Hollister and JT Energy getting along. And like we did the rock, paper, scissors things. Yeah. So I had to call it to him. I'm like, so they don't hear us. So I'm like, hey man, you got scissors. Okay. I put down paper. So he started the match. So, all right. So the story was, there's a lot of shit going on. So the story was like, I am about to run into a program with Dustin Mosley. He is the Iowa champion. And then, JT's going after the SCW heavyweight championship.
Can his name be Dustin Mostly? Because that would be a fucking... Anyway, sorry. I had to cut you off with that.
So the story is...
Mostly.
We have our own programs going on, but so we kind of showed that to people. And the crazy thing is I was looking out in the crowd, there were way more newer faces than faces I see all the time.
Well, that's good.
So that was fucking awesome. So like, I hope we hooked more people. Like we were talking about that pre-show meeting. He was like, hey, like there's going to be a lot of new faces out there. Merrick was, Nick. Yeah. It was like, there's a lot of new faces out there. We got to get them to come back. And I kept thinking of like hooks, like to hook them, you know, pull them in. And I'm like, all right, I think with our match, it was simplistic enough that, but there was a lot of shit going on. So like, all right, so the guy, JT's, I guess would be his lackey, Augustus, came out after. All right, so Connor Braxton has, which is one of my students actually when I was a part of the school, has two lackeys that come to the ring with him. So we used them during the heat on me. And at one point, I DDT'd Braxton, was getting ready to hit him with the buzzsaw kick, which is like my finish. And like they jumped up on the apron. I went to grab them. I turned around. I ducked one clothesline, I ducked a back elbow, and I did a dive on both of them. And as I came up, dude, the whole place fucking lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. It was awesome.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so like, and then when I got it, all right. So
you didn't say if you were face or heel.
Oh, I'm a baby face. Okay. Yeah. I mean, SCW won't turn me heel.
Damn it, dude. I have a really good tagline.
They won't do it.
When you're in bluegrass, you just... I want to paint your bluegrass black. Bring that one back.
I'll get one of the heels to say it.
Oh man.
But so anyway, so when that happens, the referee jumps out of the ring. Chris Angle.
Yeah.
So he jumps out.
Shouts out to you, buddy. You're my mailman.
Yeah.
And I got to talk to him for a little bit. Super cool. And anyway.
So anyways, the story is he throws them out. And as he's throwing them out, he's getting outside the ring. I get back in the ring. So like we have to like let these moments, I guess, like simmer. So that's happening as I get back in the ring. I let that happen. And now everybody's looking at me again. I take a fucking belt shot, fall to the floor. Ref doesn't see it, comes back into the ring. And as he comes back into the ring, Augustus comes from the back and pulls JT off the apron. He face bumps and the ref turns around and like, he's like, oh, I didn't hit him. But like they fight to the back. So then we blow this like comeback spot. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't have my tag partner to tag. Yeah. So then I have to fight 2 guys by myself. Damn. So, and when I won out of the roll up, dude, that pop was fucking insane. I was like, we didn't really have to do anything too crazy. And that was the whole thing going into the match. I was like, I'm positive that we're like, after I watched the first match, I was like, we don't have to go out there and do all this stuff that all these independent wrestlers right now think they have to do a million things for people to care. And it's like,
I hate to break it, but that's even at the top, right?
Right. So. But again, there's times to do it and there's times not to. Mm-hmm. There are times where if you try to do a match that those guys do in Chicago where they're doing all this intricate stuff that like smart fans understand, you try to do that in Bluegrass, Iowa, they're like, what the fuck am I watching?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's too intricate. It's like when you play a person who listens to like certain metal and then you play like gent or like, you know, like math metal stuff. They're like, well, I don't fucking understand what's happening. Like I played Dillinger Escape Plan for my nephew and he was like, what the fuck is happening? Huh?
What album?
I played the Calculating Infinity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played Jim Fear for him.
Oh yeah.
And he got to that part, I was like, and he was like, and he was like, oh, and he added it to his phone right away. I was like, yeah, but like again, normal people were like, what the fuck is that? So like,
right, because it's too dissonant and spastic. And this is like what.
Yeah, it's just too...
I'm understanding of that though.
Yeah, you know? Well, I know we are. Like again, we're smartened up on stuff. So like if like a crowd, again, I'm saying like a casual metal fan who listens to like, you know, we'll say they're a thrash fan only and they never really branched out. Right. And you play Dillinger Escape Plan for them, they're like, this is too much. There's too much going on. Yeah, I'll take one fucking. But again, so like if I showed a match that they do in AAW in front of Bluegrass, they're like, there's too much happening. So like, when again, like it's too much for them. I say digest. Like sometimes you throw a bunch of shit at them and they're like, okay, I'm just digesting the first movement and the first move you did and you're in 5 moves in. They're like, what the fuck is going on? So you don't have to do that all the time, I think. I mean, even WWE, they slow down enough that their moments mean something. It's not like...
Oh, yeah.
You know? Yeah. Like there's a groove to it.
Fuck, you know?
Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, people running in...
Bang the drum!
People running in sandals.
One thing I want to say before I forget is bluegrass is not the same bluegrass. When we were kids, bluegrass was bluegrass. Bluegrass is now, I would say, like, reminds me kind of like Bettendorf because there's a side of bluegrass with a lot of money.
Yeah.
And all those houses went in. Bluegrass is becoming a bigger town than even Buffalo. So that's... It's not really the same. Like I was kind of just talking shit and going like, oh, that's a small town. It's getting bigger and it's never stopping. And people are obviously more smart than they used to be as far as wrestling everywhere.
Right.
So I feel like bluegrass would probably actually be a great place for metal. So I said that earlier and I want to take that back because I bet you there are a lot of smart metal dudes.
Right.
And it does feel like a small town, but it's got an outskirt that is huge.
It's actually getting way bigger. And I just had that conversation with my nephew because he was stoked because he comes every show and does the entrance with me sometimes.
Right.
So,
and Walcott's right there.
Yeah. Again,
and you guys wrestle in Walcott.
And Walt Riley lives in Walcott. So when we went to Bluegrass, he's looking around going like, what the fuck? Why am I gypped in Walcott? There's so much shit here in Bluegrass.
Right. But back to your match.
But yeah, back to the match. So the ending of the match, I end up having to fight off 2 guys, end up rolling the guy up out of his finish. He does a jackhammer for a finish. So like I rolled him up in the small package, and when the 3 happened, I said it was huge, bro. Like I was like, holy fuck, it was big old pop. I was like, damn, that was great. We didn't, and I'm like, at the end of the match,
you live for, man.
Yeah, I know. And at the end of the match, I'm like, I took like a few big bumps, but nothing over the top crazy. Realistically, like I took a big back body drop. I ain't take one of those in a long time. I'll take a little bit of that, yeah, for sure.
A little squirt. A guy who wants a little squirt.
But yeah. So like. Again, like I like to do these things where you foreshadow stuff. I'm a big, I don't know what it is. Like, I guess it's ingrained in me that when you foreshadow certain things and certain movements that people understand. Like, so when, at the beginning of the match, Braxton went to give me a back body drop and I kicked him, like the old school, just kick him in the chest and they come up.
Yeah.
So later on during the heat, he gave me a hard buckle. I bounced out and he gave me a back body drop. Okay, he got it. Now, 3rd time he goes for it. He lifts me up. I kick my feet and I DDT him. So like there's 3 things that like little things that they are like, oh, that happened. Right. Oh shit, then that happened. Like I think that those are things that sometimes are missed in pro wrestling that, I mean, obviously the greats fucking know those things. Like you go to those movements and then like people are like, oh shit, he went for that earlier. Oh, he got him on that one. He went for it again. Oh, he fucked up. You know what I mean?
And like a little intricacies.
Yeah.
Of like maybe even just a facial, like, oh, I see they're going to try to do it. Those are, it's kind of lost, I guess. But
yeah.
There's some people that do it great. It's just, and that's what separates them though. But anyway.
But yeah, I mean, it again, like there's little intricacies that like I never once hit the buzzsaw kick. I have to come up with a name for that because I don't want to keep calling it what Tajiri's always called it. So I have to come up with a name for that.
Call it the buzzed saw kick.
That's fucking perfect because like
added an ED.
What was it? Nick said something last night because we were doing the pre-show meeting and something about like, hey, they got drinks up there, they're selling booze. And I'm like, oh, perfect. And he points over at Johnny. I'm like, whoa, fuck. Johnny's not the only guy who drinks alcohol. And he goes like, dude, he goes, Shug, you're already drunk. I wasn't though, but
son of a bitch.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, like those, I don't know. It was just a fucking good time. I love working with my student, Braxton, and like, I don't get to work with my students very often. I was a part of the first 2 classes.
Yeah.
So when I do, and Braxton's fucking, he's smart. He's just getting really good at like this really subtle, good storytelling.
Right.
And JT's the same way. So they both take pride in the small things instead of guys are just like, I got to get my shit in, which is mostly pro wrestling right now. And they're like, well, man, what if we did this? Because that part might not make sense. And I love when guys do that. They're like, I don't know if that would make any sense. Like would we really do that? Like, would I just look like an idiot? No, you want to protect yourself at the same time and not look dumb. But obviously sometimes pro wrestling, you do look dumb, but you have to, you have to be giving, give and take, And
again, I guess this is probably the main point. I'm glad we both have watched something recently that I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
So with that show, afterwards, was there an after party with camaraderie?
Well, I'm getting old, bro. And if there was one, right. It's not like it used to be where, there was a place to go.
Okay.
But
so no shutting down a bluegrass bar.
No. And a lot of the students, again, hey, times are changing. A lot of students don't even fucking drink, dude. A lot of students don't even party or nothing.
So again, let me get to that because I think after watching Tales from the Territories, which you guys need to watch.
Yes, for sure.
If you guys have not watched that, I'm sorry. I'm not going to spoil anything because I think most wrestling history has been told in several different forms on several different occasions. So some of the stuff, obviously not. That I didn't know, certain territories, especially with AWA and all that stuff. But I guess the best quote, and I send it to you, but the best quote on the whole thing, I think I'm like 5 episodes in, so there's like a bunch of episodes. Was somebody saying that wrestling was better when cocaine was there? And the reason is because you'd have a group full of guys on cocaine, and it was just not just cocaine, but everything.
Well, they were all sorts of uppers.
Talk about the intricacies of what they did. So that's what made them do those things in the ring, was that they went over the stuff that you were just talking about, that you're kind of like, oh, we started talking about this and we got in and we're like, what would we do that? Dude, imagine that, but 5 guys are on coke.
Oh, yeah.
They'll literally figure out, no, because if we do that, I seen this fan.
What do you think fucking Savage and Steamboat, literally, you've seen like the interviews about their match at WrestleMania, right? So like they had everything numbered. Right. So like Macho would be like 165 and like fucking Steamboat would be like, oh, this, and this. Like these movements, like, so they fucking scripted it like completely like that. But again, when you're like getting ready for something huge like that, like I think, fuck it, dude. Like it's one of the best matches in WrestleMania, one of the best matches.
That's why, and I don't want to like, it's drugs. So there was a bunch of sober wrestlers around that time that were doing some shit. I mean, they probably went through their dark time earlier than most and about died, most of them. And then they're like, okay, I can't touch this stuff no more. Right. But they were still there, even if somebody was being annoying as fuck on coke. They're like, I'm going to listen to this guy because he's still brilliant.
Well, realistically, with cocaine, is like, it's not like, I mean, it's like, all right, so if it's almost like, all right, this guy's already hyperactive and he slammed 2 energy drinks and he's just like, blah, 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 and like half the time you barely get anything out and they just keep talking.
But that was the good coke though.
Oh yeah. So well, I mean, shit
that makes you do that.
Oh,
and then there's good coke that they got in the 70s and 80s.
Pure.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's kind of where there's just so many factors.
You couldn't sneak it into your bag because it was such a strong smell. Yeah. Like that's what I heard of the cocaine back then. Right. Was like, oh my God, I could smell that through your fucking bag, bro. Like, right.
And maybe the new one for the sober rovers is smelling salts that you take to the gym. Just bring that to the next show and say, I know you guys don't drink and stuff, but let's just fucking sniff a bunch of these and start talking about our match. Okay, fuck yeah. We're going to do this, and I'm going to say bluegrass.
But yeah, and, you got to think, like, they're talking fast, but also they're thinking. Your brain, like, again, like Lyndon said, 80s music and production was fucking huge because of cocaine.
They didn't sleep, is what you're saying.
Like, not only that, all right, producers probably like up all night, like do a line, like rub it on their teeth, like, what if we added this?
Sleep all day.
But like, again, like Lyndon said, like anything in the 80s was fucking huge, and like the territories, a lot of that was like, 80s, like pre-80s, like 70s, but cocaine was still big in the late 70s too, or like 70s in general was still huge.
Oh man, with everything, I'm thinking about probably a director or something. Of like one of your favorite Halloween movies, and he's just
I'm sure.
Again! Because when you're on coke, you just say again for no reason.
Oh my God. You ever seen this story? All right. Emilio Estevez actually admitted that he wished he would have never done Maximum Overdrive, and it was the first time and only time I think Stephen King directed his own movie, and it was solely based on him just cocained out of his mind.
For sure, that
he was fucking out of his mind.
He was doing it off his fucking global-sized glasses. He was just fucking doing a line off his huge glasses, bro. It was a whole table. His glasses? You ever seen them, bitches?
Yeah, I know. It made his eyes look fucking huge, like bubbles.
Stephen King of the glasses.
But like, again, like, like when you're like amped and stuff, but like, again, Stephen King didn't know how to direct though. That's why he didn't know how to do any of that stuff. So like, he didn't go to school like John Carpenter, like, was in school and stuff, and like he had already filmed stuff for TV that a lot of people forget. He did a movie with Kurt Russell as Kurt Russell played Elvis, and it was made for a TV movie. That was before Halloween. So like he had done stuff, but when John was approached about like doing a horror movie, he was like, well, I want my name above the title of the movie. That's why it's called John Carpenter's Halloween.
Okay.
Or like John Carpenter's The Thing, John Carpenter's They Live. Like,
well, and again, that's another guy. Did he do coke?
Oh, I'm positive. I'm sure he fucking did. I'm sure he did.
What I'm saying is he's probably, again!
Also,
it was perfect.
Also,
again.
Remember, this is a guy who thinks music too, so he does his own scores.
Yeah.
So in scenes, he's already thinking of post-production of like, all right, this is the song that's going to play in this scene. Like, that guy is thinking way ahead.
So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I get stuck with the doing and I don't. And it's like, oh, why didn't I don't? Oh, what didn't I do? Ah, fuck it.
Right.
Either way, obviously that guy, a million times talent, and that's kind of what it is also like talent and timing.
Yeah.
So like for you have the talent, and if somebody gave you the call, that'd be the timing.
Oh, yeah.
You're already fully prepared.
Oh, yeah.
You could make a million people look good in the WWE. And again, that doesn't have to be a bad job.
No.
Literally. Like
Barry Horowitz should be in the Hall of Fame. Barry Horowitz, remember? Tap on the back. He was a jobber for so fucking long. Like this thing.
God damn, what was it?
Barry Horowitz.
I know about the Bronx guy.
Brooklyn Brawler.
Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah.
Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Cabana played him on the Rock's TV show.
Okay.
So like, I don't know if he's in.
The Brawler should be in.
The Brawler should be in too.
He's been
like
the jobber of the jobber.
Like even Bret Hart said that in an interview that Barry Horowitz should be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And he talked shit about Goldberg, a guy who fucking hurt people. And he was like, Barry Horowitz never hurt anybody. He made sure everybody looked good and he wasn't stiff and like or anything like that. He was like,
oh, that's who said the cocaine thing. It was Bret.
Oh yeah, it was Bret. Yeah,
he was like, yeah, it was like so great.
Well, think about all right, him and Dynamite Kid, revolutionized. They were doing stuff in Stampede Wrestling that
Dynamite Kid didn't do any coke, right?
Oh fuck, get out of here! I read his book, bro.
Just look at him though. Just look at him.
But like, Dynamite Kid and Bret Hart, like you can go back and watch those matches if you can watch them. They were doing shit no one was doing, dude. Right. Just two young, kind of skinny junior heavyweights just beating the fuck out of each other and doing cool shit no one was doing, dude. Like, they revolutionized the business realistically in the long run.
A lot of guys, but those guys probably at the forefront for sure. Yeah. You know, I got to say Shawn Michaels for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Shawn Michaels, hilarious. As far as how much coke him and fucking...
Well, I'm sure...
What's his name was in it? Marty Jannetty.
Oh, yeah. Like, him and Marty were probably...
Nobody did coke. I mean,
you ever heard this...
like he's on coke.
You ever heard the story of, like, Marty Jannetty leaving his girlfriend with fucking Iron Sheik? And, like, the cops showed up and shit?
Yeah, and then they found coke.
No, right? Well, no, I mean, I think so. But, like... I guess there's this...
Well, the famous one is with Iron Sheik and guy with the fucking Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh yeah, right? They got busted together with cocaine, and they were in a feud together. So like gave away the business right away. They fucked up.
I love it. That makes me feel so good.
But
I don't
like
know what it is.
They tried to protect the business so much with like back then. When you watch those documentaries where people. They blurred the lines so much of like people wanted to kill some of these guys. Like Roddy Piper got stabbed, man. Like it's fucking wild to think about. Like
I mean, he did a lot of wild shit.
Have you watched the one where they were talking about Memphis, the Memphis territory?
Yeah, with Jerry Lawler.
Yeah. Like where the gun was fucking pulled out.
Dude, they got
no. That was Stampede with Bret Hart, Abdullah the Butcher, I think.
Okay. I don't think I watched that one.
Oh, dude, a gun was fucking pulled out and fired at a show and hit a fan when he was trying to shoot the fucking wrestler.
Damn.
Think about that, dude. That's fucking insane. Like,
oh, wait, maybe, because he said, I remember hearing a bullet whizzed by my head, and I said, I must have done my job good or something.
Right,
Like, old school as fuck.
Fuck, bro. Like, or like...
They're talking about the guy, oh, man, that was one thing I liked was the dude who just stretched people, and he's in...
Stu.
But dude, not just Stu. It was him talking about like weeding people out. That wanted to be in the business.
The one about
I thought this was supposed to be fake, and just beating the shit out of
the fucking AWA one, where with Terry Bollea, where the guy snapped his fucking leg.
Right. Hiro Matsuda.
Yeah.
Yep.
He broke fucking Hulk Hogan's leg. And they're like, he kept showing up.
Yeah, he's like, hey, Jerry Briscoe was like, looking old, man. Oh, my God. He's going to go soon, dude. It sucks.
Right.
Age, man. We're living.
Hey, man.
We gotta pay our respects.
Right.
Briscoe brothers, man. Not, well, I like the new ones.
Right.
But
the original Briscoe brothers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They are working, they're all over the place. They're straight up independent contractors who work for all the indies and then sometimes do. I don't know if AEW has brought them in yet, but I know they've done stuff in Impact. But
Impact still a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A lot of my friends are still signed there.
Nice.
Like Sammy Callahan, Josh Alexander, Eddie Edwards. Those guys are all. Alex Shelley still has a job.
Sucks. I always thought Sammy Callahan was Sami Zayn.
No,
I don't know why.
Not the same guy at all.
It was like 2 years ago. I was like, oh shit, that's not the same guy.
But it's funny because like when I met.
Sami Zayn's killing it.
Oh,
so
bro.
Hard, bro!
Fuck, he cracks guys. They break on TV. He's so good.
He got me. I fucking laughed. That's for other than Colbster because you're literally the Joker or whatever you're doing. You're basically you're Cyclown. You stole my gimmick, and that's okay. Whatever the fuck you're doing with your life.
Yeah, he just randomly does it and then stops.
Honestly, it's like probably the most. That's probably the closest to Colbster ever in real life, you know, especially like us as children.
Oh, yeah.
He just brought his child Colbster. I'm the best at every game. And then Mike beats him and he fucking punches him.
Yeah, he almost breaks the controller.
Controller!
What was it Mike kept saying? I can feel in my heart I'm going to beat you.
Yeah, I kept calling him a jewel. I was like, hey, don't worry, you're going to beat him because you're a jewel.
You were talking him up while Mike's talking himself up, and Colby gets pissed.
I should have called him the crown jewel. I didn't watch that pay-per-view, but
me neither.
I will say, though, Jake Paul.
Yeah, bro.
Logan Paul. Sorry.
Yeah.
Jake Paul was there, apparently, but Logan Paul looks like $1 billion.
Dude, and he's trying, bro. Like, I watched him training with Shawn Michaels and stuff, and Shawn talking, and
with the fucking lowest voice.
Oh yeah,
anybody who's 5'2" has ever said. Listen here, brother. I love him,
but like, I think he's not all right. He's not just trying to live off his, YouTube. Fame. He's fucking trying, dude. Like, of other people who've done the transition, I think he's done it the best. Like, Stephen Amell is an actor and does a show called Heels, which if you haven't watched,
I want to.
It's fucking awesome. There's the dark side. It's the dark side of wrestling, like the fucked up stuff that happens. Like apparently Arn Anderson walked up to Stephen Amell and shook his hand. He goes, I don't know how you guys know the things you do.
Right.
But I respect it. And shook his hand. I was like, and Stephen Amell is a mark, bro. Oh. He loves pro wrestling. So he's like, holy fuck. Arn Anderson just shook my fucking hand. Like, you know what I mean?
So,
like,
I wish I would have met him because I seen him.
We worked out at the Gold's Gym.
In my head, I don't know why. He was too scary.
He is scary as fuck.
You
ever seen the promo?
Talk to me.
You ever seen the promo where he talks about pulling out the Glock and putting it to somebody's head? I was like, yeah, dude, that's fucking terrifying.
By the way, it wasn't disrespectful. I just, I said hi.
Yeah.
But, and he said, hi, hello, and he went back to working out. Probably the most disrespectful. Funniest story ever. Me and Mike, right in the beginning, Mike goes, dude, you're badass Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn goes, yeah, I don't know you. And just walks. And we're just crushed, dude. We're just like, oh, fuck. That's the first thing we said to anybody.
Yeah, but like what?
It's like, God, dude, you're badass Billy Gunn.
It's like
I don't know you.
It's like if somebody walks up, so somebody walks up to Lyndon and goes, "Hey, you're Lyndon Ehlers." He goes, "Yeah, that's my fucking name."
Did he do that?
No. I'm just saying, like, Lyndon wouldn't do that, but like.
Right. We're like, teenagers.
Oh,
man.
dude.
He could have been like.
What's crazy is
apparently that's very Billy Gunn.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He is like, I don't give a fuck about people.
I walked up to Billy Gunn when SCW had him here at the Call Ballroom. And I said, hey, man.
Gotta be on something, dude.
I walked up to him and said, hey, where'd you find your time capsule? And he goes, wait, what? I'm like, you look like you did in fucking 98, man. What's going on? He started laughing.
Nice.
But like Billy Gunn, actually, you hang out. Dude, he's a big motherfucker. Like, I always
like
forget how fucking.
Something like that.
Yeah, he's big, dude. And not only that, he's jacked, but like, I always forget how fucking huge he is, like in person. Man. Like, he's a massive human being. Like,
and I think that was, he was walking in with someone. I can't remember who, and it might have been Jericho, but I don't think so, because I feel like Jericho was so cool. He was like.
Then again, the height difference when you see that too is like, what the fuck? I thought Jericho was. You would think Jericho's taller.
Like, thick.
Well, yeah, he's fucking. I mean, again, he still walks
just like
around.
Benoit, I was telling that story a few episodes ago of the fact that he's just so wide that you thought he was taller than you.
Yeah,
it didn't make any sense. I'm 6'2" at the time.
Yeah,
and again, I feel like that's just what it was. They were just so wide as humans, and I'm skinny.
Right.
So, like, I just feel like, oh, they're taller than me. But they're probably looking at me going like, oh, that's a pretty big kid for his age. I don't know.
Right.
Probably not. They're probably not.
But again, when you're young and they see just a tall person, they're like, oh, there's, in their eyes, they're probably like, oh, there's so much potential because you're tall.
Right.
So.
Well, and again,
I had to fight the opposite battle of that.
But back to the original thing, I feel like, especially with pro wrestling, and I've been watching Raw and SmackDown. Well, first and foremost, I'll just say Raw is 3 hours long.
That's too long.
That's got to stop.
It's too long.
But I'm even watching it on Hulu where I don't have commercials, so it's not as bad. But it's pretty bad.
They still cut it down on Hulu, like what, an hour and a half?
Well, without commercials, probably. I mean, shit.
Wait, did they do the full 3? I thought Hulu actually cut off some of the fat and like shortened it up. I thought.
Well, there's no commercials,
but they still have would still be a 3-hour show with commercials then.
No, I don't think it's 3 hours. I think it's like a 2. It's more than 2.
Right. That's too long.
SmackDown is like perfect because there's no commercial and there's like an hour and a half.
I think that. All right. So back in the day when we would have like hour-long shows, it'd be perfect. You want to know why? Because then when you got that pay-per-view that's 2 fucking hours long, it felt like you're watching miniseries leading up to the fucking finale or the movie.
Right.
So that's why a pay-per-view would seem like it meant more because like, oh my God, there's so much stacked into this. It's 2 hours. You're like, holy fuck, fucking pay-per-view. Yes. So like you would get these hour-long shows leading to the fucking pay-per-view. And I felt like because of the hour-long shows,
right,
when you got a 2-hour-long show, you're like, holy fuck, there's so much more happening.
Well, I feel like it's probably like every lady you've ever been with, the climax that you give them. It's a climax. And the SHug goes, you got it. And then they get Buzz. And they go, whoa, buzzsaw kick.
Buzzsaw kick.
I feel like, too, though, especially with the new regime coming in, there is a different change. I feel as though within a few months, we're really going to see some attitude, and I
think so. Well, they raised the,
and then you know what's cool about that? Because the top usually represents the bottom, and I'm not saying you're at the bottom, but you are in the independents.
Yes,
and I will say the independents hopefully will change, and you can really be the shit.
Well, my thing is, there's I can't give away what's about to happen, but things are about to happen and change in Chicagoland area for me. So,
well, I can't give away too much, but let's just say the song is starting to heat up in my head, and
but
unfortunately,
again,
also,
so
go ahead.
I really feel like I'm about to have the ball handed to me and go, "Hey, be you again," and I can't fucking wait.
Hell yeah,
I can't wait.
I mean, your baby face is good,
right?
It's just. Is it really you at your core?
No.
With fun.
I hate most human beings. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I think if you watch the past episodes, you've seen the show go on a few tangents about you fools.
So, like,
yeah.
I mean, it's just, I'm going to have the opportunity to speak my mind about certain things and even,
to speak his mind, no matter the consequences. He's got to
stay true to yourself. Kill switch engage.
Sorry. It was low hanging fruit, and I always take them.
It's all right.
And come on them and eat them.
You know, you got to have that extra juice.
Juicifer. So, yeah. That's a new tool. Juicifer. As a joke.
Oh my. That's got to be like something with Lyndon's new sauce for his barbecues called Juicifer.
Hell yeah. Well, that would be our buddy Trevor Goodall.
Yeah.
Boston Juicers. Juicifer.
Oh,
that's a free one, Trev. And yes, you can come to the new fucking Spider Hall, you bitch. I already have five fucking people in front of you.
You gotta start paying Logan for these fucking catchphrases he's handed to you, motherfucker.
Yeah. Start catching your own phrases, son of a bitch. Oh, man, where were we?
But I think we were initially talking about, like, cocaine and, like, what it did to the business. But those stories of, like, the territories, man, that shit's fucking rad. And, like, if you guys want to know the history of pro wrestling, start watching some of that stuff because you get to see a different side of when the business was different. Before it was exposed to everybody who knew it was a show, the business was very protected and different. And, man, if I could time travel and just go back and watch one of those shows and watch the heat and the pops of people when they would come out, like, fuck, bro. Did you see, what's his fucking name? Hang on, I gotta find this real quick, because I was blown away. What the fuck is his name?
Is this
he was in
from
Baywatch.
the show?
He was in Baywatch, the Baywatch movie. He was in, like, the high school.
Zac Efron?
Did you see how jacked he is right now?
Yeah, he's playing.
He's one of the Von Erichs. Yeah, dude. He's jacked as fuck, bro.
That's
like
good ass roids.
Yeah. I mean, again, when you're like, and then you got the best personal trainers in the fucking world because you're a celebrity and you pay for it.
Nice.
So, dude, like, is jacked. I'm so fucking stoked for that movie, and apparently MJF is in it.
Oh,
yeah. And have you seen how jacked he got from when he did his, like, stint of being suspended? Realistically, I think he was shooting that movie.
Yeah.
Dude, he is jacked as fuck right now. Like, just, he's yoked too right now.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So, like,
that's what you need to be.
Right.
But,
I'm just saying, like, that's another territory that I think he's the only one left who can tell that story too, which is sad. All of his brothers are gone.
Yeah.
Like, that whole, like, there's like a story of how that family is cursed. Like, it was, like, fucked up with a lot of stuff.
A lot of families are cursed.
Yeah.
I think it's just called life.
Yeah.
And we wrestle with it.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, though, you know, especially with that movie in mind, the original point was camaraderie. We got to say it.
Yeah.
It's because they had a bunch of trauma in their lives.
Oh, yeah,
coming from a lot of them actually did come from good families, but I feel like the time of day when it was okay, I guess not okay, but it was not frowned upon to be like a bully or to thicken the skin. I want to say, though, JBL kills it with his promos as usual.
Oh, yeah.
And his whole snowflake thing is just spot on.
Oh, yeah, he's not lying.
Seen that, right?
Oh, yeah.
You bunch of snowflakes.
No, and you know that's
in the WWE when I was in the WWE.
You know that's him fucking shooting because he's like just a bunch of sissified.
But he was a bully of bullies.
Oh, I know, but they're again
great.
We got a bunch of sissified Tweety birds walking around that are like soy boys. You know what I mean? We know. We talk about it all the time.
I think what he's mentioning is that, like, we have a group that we grew up with where we literally tortured each other. We've talked about it on here. They'll, like, try to get one of each other to cry.
Oh, there were times where I would fucking lose my shit.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I just because
literally take a shit and
just
then
because
went and got arrested. But
almost. But I had the shortest views, obviously, because I was the shortest in the group too. Mm-hmm. So
I loved SHug from the beginning. That when I first met him, and I just knew that he was going to get shit on, and he passed the test and with flying colors. And I felt like it was just like you're the right type of scoundrel, and that's what we're talking about.
Right.
All these guys found each other in a business and said, "Oh, you're the right type of scoundrel for it." And you kind of see, like, what did Hulk Hogan do? He kept calling, "Hey, man, I know my leg's broke. Yeah. I want to be there."
Yeah,
kept showing the right up. Type of scoundrel. Hiro Matsuda said, "Yep, okay, he's the right type of scoundrel. I misread him, and that's why I broke his leg."
Yeah,
you know.
Well,
I mean?
I think Terry was very strong, and I think in that whole thing of like, Matsuda thought he could just fucking manhandle him, and he couldn't. Right. So then he got a little mad that he wasn't able to throw him around, and then he grabbed, hooked, and snapped. So
what's cool is they tell the story about how they recognize Terry Bollea, who's playing a bass in a bar.
Yeah, he was in a band.
This fucking guy's unique. But he went to shows and he was a mark.
Yeah.
And he'd go, "Man, this guy's unique." Why is he unique? He's 6'8" at the time, had to fuck his neck up, and he's fucking huge.
You know what it reminds me of? All right, so the one scene in Rocky 3, when he was like agreed to do this, Rocky agrees to do this exhibition with a pro wrestler, and Thunderlips is walking out.
Oh, I love Thunderlips.
And Sylvester Stallone, as Rocky goes, "Why are they carrying him?" And Mickey looks at me and goes, "He's walking." He was that fucking big.
I didn't even notice that. I love it. Do you know Thunderlips was the name of his ex-girlfriend?
No.
Because of her pussy size?
Okay, all right. I thought you were actually going to tell a real story there. There's Logan. There's Logan. There it is.
Me with the Thunderlips.
But yeah, I always thought, I was like, dude, Hogan was, and I know they did even more. And there's that scene where Sylvester Stallone's probably not a very tall guy, but they're like, in that scene, it literally looked like he was looking at Hulk Hogan's belly button.
Imagine the lint in that.
Right? And Sylvester Stallone was ripped, but like Hogan was fucking massive. So like, dude, like that comparison, if anybody's never seen Rocky 3, just look that scene up on YouTube. And I fucking still laugh like, why are they why are they carrying him out? He's walking.
He's a big dude.
And Mickey was like, "You don't want to get in the ring with a pro wrestler. Don't do it. Don't do it." Like I was trying to tell him.
and they kind of talked to that a little bit in the territories with people like,
Muhammad Ali did it. He did an exhibition.
Judo Gene LaBelle.
Yeah, Gene LaBelle.
And how he was a bad dude.
Oh, yeah.
Knows that
he was like a hooker. He was a shooter. Oh, yeah. He could hurt you for real, man, if he fucking wanted to.
Well, it was like, can Bruce Lee be... Dude, Bruce Lee would get his ass kicked in Judo Gene LaBelle.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, I could have fucking fucked him.
I think Gene LaBelle is one of those guys, if he grabbed you or hooked you, you're fucked. Like, if he gets a hold of you, you're fucked. Like, it doesn't matter if you're the fastest guy in the world. If he was able to grab you, he's going to snap something if he wants to.
And there's technique and there's just natural ability, you know. A lot of those guys were naturally gifted. We just said Hulk Hogan in the beginning was 6'8". He lost size through injury.
Right. He had to.
He's still like 6'5" now.
He's a big dude. That's a fucking big person, dude.
Yeah, he's 1 inch taller than me. Yeah, and I don't remember that I'm big. A lot of the time.
Right.
And I do see pictures and go like, oh fuck. You know?
When you stand next to me, motherfucker, or Lyndon. So it goes like this.
We ever play a show? You just have this big ass fucking thing that you stand.
I gotta stand on because I have to be taller than you.
Well, that's why I wanted to give you a throne.
Well, think about that.
Like Game of Thrones.
Like Hogan was the bass player. He wasn't the fucking lead vocalist.
But he had the fucking all the charisma.
Oh yeah,
and people watched him, is what they said in the film, which I believe.
Yeah,
and he was just like pointing at them when they're at the bar.
Well, and he's a fucking dude. He was lifting weights. Motherfucker was big. So like you stand out more than the lead singer, And it's like, that would be like you too, but like, I'm going to have a platform to stand on, motherfucker.
Well, and again, it's like, fuck, man, just think about me with my little dinky ass guitar, I feel like it looks fun, or it looks normal in my head. And then I'll see a fucking thing later and go, oh, yeah, okay, this is like a little fucking thing. It's just weird. I'm trying to shrink down right now. I've been on the carnivore for
You've lost a lot of weight, bro.
about 20 pounds.
Looking good,
really
man.
falls off you if you really stick with the carnivore diet and, try to do some pure stuff. So let me cheat a little bit with that White Claw.
I was wondering when you were going to ask for one.
Yeah.
Hey, again, the carbs are still not that bad.
It's like 2 or something.
Yeah, it's like 3 at most, right?
You're allotted 30 a day,
right,
even on any diet, and it won't do shit to you. But, again, it just sucks that I don't want to say, I do want to say this. It sucks that there's not more scoundrels with you.
Well, again, the business has changed so much that it's so, everything that happens in the locker room, everyone knows. Like, it's one of those things where, like,
your phone,
but there's still like people who, if you do something, you rib somebody and it goes too far, and now you're a fucking bully, and this and that, and like nobody can take.
Let me ask you, when's the last time you even ribbed?
I don't. I haven't. I don't. Sometimes
sad.
I mean, there are times I'll like mess with somebody. Like I'll walk up and I'll bullshit. Like it's the ribs this long. Like, hey, here's the finish. This is what we're gonna do tonight. I'll see you out there.
And it's probably Johnny Wisdom because he's the only one.
No. Because me and Johnny actually could do that.
Yeah.
But I walk up to one of the students and go, "This is the finish. I'll see you out there, kid." And fucking scared. They look like a fucking deer in the headlights. Like, what? And then I'll walk away for a second and walk back. I'm like, I'm just fucking with you. What do you want to do tonight, man?
I love it. That would actually get my goat.
Yeah.
And I'd view it as a challenge, even though I might screw up. I feel like
that's how a lot of
that's what separated us. And I'm saying, like, we're not trained in the backyard.
Oh yeah, no,
we're literally doing stuff in a backyard.
Well, even Shawn Michaels' DVD
like
when Shawn Michaels was doing like job matches for WCW that a lot of people forget, he would go up to a guy and he's like, "This is the finish. Just listen."
Yeah.
That's it. That's how Shawn had to go and like listen and do it. That's how he had to work. I mean, that was working though at the time, because at that point you're actually listening to the crowd too. Yeah. You know when to pull the trigger for the gear change, the shift to fucking bring them up. So like we still have that, and like I still audible things. Like I'm like, all right, we can go home now because that was fucking huge. That was a huge pop. This has to be the finish to be bigger than that then.
Right.
So,
and I think what it is, I guess what I was saying, one thing you can give people that did start in their yard or whatever, because they never get credit. It's always shunned, It's like, no, man, we literally just didn't have ropes and stuff. Yeah. Now, it was really silly to throw each other around and not have ropes. But at the same time, how cool was it when there was something that was somewhat realistic that was, pro wrestling?
So if you eliminate doing Irish whips in pro wrestling, like that's the most basic style of wrestling. So if you don't Irish whip anybody and it's always grabbing and slamming and like, well, yeah, I know. But like, think of this, like, in the basement, the Heart Dungeon, there was no ropes.
Right.
So like Stu, it was all grappling and teaching you to get out of it and working like that. And Moxley said that when he took his break and went to rehab, he wanted to do the basic of wrestling again. He wanted to like, I was just working without hitting the ropes or pretending the ropes weren't there. Like
ropes also hurt though.
Well, yeah. Did you ever watch Mox versus what's his name? He was
I've watched Zero AEW.
No. He was Pride Fighter. He does pro wrestling. What's his fucking name?
Was this in WWE?
No, dude. This is for GCW, but he calls it Bloodsport and does it once a year, and it's all like shoot style wrestling in a way. What's his fucking name, dude? He was a Pride Fighter, but also a huge wrestling fan, and he's a big ass fucking dude. Fuck, I have to look it up.
But heavyweight?
Yeah, no,
Josh Barnett?
Josh Barnett, yes, it's Barnett. Barnett does a show.
Barnett because he fucking loves really good music.
Right. So Barnett does this thing with GCW where for a weekend they do this shoot style wrestling.
Yeah.
And when it was him and Mox, the ropes never got put up.
Nice.
So like they just beat the fuck out of each other, like stiff, strong style working. And dude, that shit. And then like those people walking into that know that they're going to see that. So like obviously it's a niche crowd and there's a lot of people there. So like it was fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. But like to watch that and realize like, yes, that still fucking works. Right. You can still do it. And there were guys on that like Chris Dickinson, which I was on shows with. Dude's jacked as fuck. And realistically, you probably could beat up a fuckload of dudes in the locker room. And there are guys who are badass in real life, like Davey Richards, that I've been in the ring with. In real life, could probably beat the fuck out of most of those guys in WWE. Like there are a lot of like he's a bad dude. Yeah. He does jujitsu. He takes pride in it. He takes his son to it. I always follow him on Facebook, and like he is this dude who's constantly evolving his craft in the sense of like, yeah, he's a pro wrestler, but he trains MMA, he trains jujitsu. Like that's the stuff that's like, all right, this guy realistically, if he wanted to, if you pissed him off, he could fuck you up. Right. And that's the old school mentality of pro wrestling as well.
Well, and I like how you said that on accident, mentality. You have to have a fucking a deep want to actually make things, I don't know, better. Yeah. I mean, it sounds super simple to say that, but dude, a lot of people just want to skate, in life. And a lot of these people that are at their, I guess the best way to say it to people is the people at the top don't skate.
No.
They work.
Yeah, they have to.
And it's all work. And it's like, as much as people say, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I'm victim to that as well. Where I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. And then life situations happen and you're like, oh man. And I try not to say I can't, but sometimes you realize like, oh, I really can't. Like I have something that's more of a priority.
Right.
And it gets well, especially having the son and
after having children him. And that changes things.
Love and marriage.
Oh, that show makes so much more sense after having kids when I was married.
You were with Peggy.
Oh my God. No, wait. Brooke fucking, she cooked and cleaned though. You know what I mean? Like Peggy's like Cardi B.
Yeah. She was the original.
But everybody wanted to fuck Peggy, but Al.
Yeah. Well, it's like a bunch of Sons of Anarchy wanted to fuck her.
Oh
too.
My God, right? She was the mom? Yeah.
Dude, they were a perfect couple.
Oh, dude. Yes. Ron Perlman?
Hellboy. Yep.
Ron Perlman, man.
I say Hellboy, but he didn't play the last Hellboy. He was fucking some random guy.
No, it was the guy from Stranger Things.
Sorry, guy from Stranger Things. I love you, but man, fuck you.
I think they shotgunned that movie too. Again, a situation where there could have been a potentially good story,
right?
And they shotgunned it, and they wanted to cut off a bunch of fat, and they had to narrow down their story to this much time.
Yeah,
and like sometimes that doesn't work. Like I think
it really doesn't.
No, I think if you have a story in mind and it's going to take this long to tell it, don't try to cut things out because then people get lost. Like the story's gone.
I really hate that. Like my brain hears something and then I just want to do something because I hear it, which was, you just said a story to tell. And I was thinking of Chuck Schuldner's song, a story to tell. Tell it. Damn. And again, that is true to life, man. Yeah. It really is. If you are trying to do something original, remember that most things are true to you.
Yeah.
And it's like if I pick up a guitar, I'm not a great guitar player. I'm not. I have a broken ass finger. I think a lot of people know what that is. There's certain ability, there's certain things I can't do.
Right.
But when I play guitar, it's unique to me because it's my idea.
But you also have to have mind over matter in the fact of like, I'm really going to try to fucking play this song, and I know I don't have that finger to fucking play with.
There's also arthritis now. Which
yeah,
sucks.
so it fucking hurts.
Yeah. And I just kind of look at it and I go, okay, well, I'm playing guitar, so now the guitar part is me. And it's like, everybody can play guitar, right? That's what they say, you know? But it's like, yeah, but everybody is their own individual. And when there's just a million combinations with music, just like there's a million combinations with wrestling. And I guess the whole thing that we were kind of explaining was there's just context to every situation.
Yeah.
And every situation's different. You have a different situation when you're in bluegrass as opposed to when you're in beer stew.
Yeah, or Chicago.
Or Chicago, you know, like, and you're still doing Chicago. Right?
Yeah.
So
I work for 2 companies in Chicago now.
Nice. Yeah. Well, we had the CSW,
and then AEW.
Okay.
Which is, well, besides SCW, that's my home promotion. Like, I still have a banner. Like, they put up a banner at every show, which is fucking wild to think about. Because, like, my banner's not too far away from Colby's. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm kind of held up on that pedestal somehow. It's kind of fucking weird, but, like...
It makes sense.
But when I think I've already said this before, but, like, when I won the AEW championship, Colby texted me. I went to the locker room, and I looked at my phone, and it was like, congratulations, man. And he was in WWE. So, like, me winning the AEW championship, like, what the fuck? Like, what? Again, I was like, why would, you know what I mean? But, like, again, it still meant
the same road as you, and he knows.
It meant something to me, you know?
It means something more because you're not gifted with 6'3", and you're not gifted with genetic, man. He had biceps when he was 12.
True, but also...
And again, he's amazing in a different way.
He's a fucking...
away from that.
He's also an athlete.
I'm just saying, like, you're not gifted in that way.
No.
You know that.
No.
So you to do it does mean more to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's like, you remember the guy with the one leg.
Zach Allen.
Exactly.
Which
How inspirational was that?
Yeah. And I showed my dad that. My dad had one leg. Mm-hmm. And my dad was blown away watching him do the stuff he was doing in TNA.
Exactly.
Like, he was like, that's...
The disadvantaged is not the best way to say it. Right. Because really nobody is disadvantaged. It's you that accept your disadvantage. And you didn't, and that's what a lot of people give respect to. I give respect to people that are just like, you know, like exactly like that, because I feel like I'm 6'4", I'm 300 fucking pounds easy if I want to be. Yeah. If I got on roids, I'd get in the WWE. Just kidding. Maybe early on. I don't know.
Maybe in the 80s and 90s, they would have gave you a job right away.
They gave me a job for sure. Like, I would have came in there and taught, hey, bluegrass, paint your fucking grass, you idiot. So, I mean, really what it comes down to is, like, especially with the whole wrestling industry and music industry, is personality. Yeah. And I know that...
And also thinking outside the box can separate you as well.
I think there's a lot of tiers. When I talked about early in an episode, I talked about, like, drummers. And I try to associate the tiers of, like, this guy's technical, this guy's got creativity, this guy, you know, that's the same with everything when it comes to music, vocals. Yeah. Since I do vocals, okay, can you sound like somebody else instead of everybody else? Right. That's the hardest thing in the world, right? Yeah. So what really separates you from everybody on the earth? You. That's the intangible people don't understand. Well, how do you understand that? Well, you need to get more skills than just vocals. Right. So if I'm saying it in a DIY sense, like I've been doing, not, you know, going to a producer and the producer goes, oh, by the way, this is what I'm going to do to your voice to make you sound different. And by the way, that's a good way too, is to find like-minded individuals, people who are way smarter than you. Yeah. And they go, by the way, you just have to do this. Boop. And they put on a Neve compressor worth 10 grand and you go, oh, okay, that's why I sound different than everybody else. Yeah. It's the hardware. Right. But with pro wrestling, it's not dissimilar. It's the exact same thing. So SHug speaks differently than most people. Right. If your pigeonholing yourself to be a baby face, you're not truly yourself. So that's why you want to be a heel.
Exactly.
It's because you want to say stuff. But
again,
a lot of people don't understand. And again, I think WWE has it now where there is no face or heel. Really, there is at some times.
There's like they have.
What they realize though is that people are people, and they're just so. One day they're a baby face, one day they're a heel, and that's cool, but it's bad. You know, especially after watching Tales from the Territories.
But again,
I want to finish the point.
Okay,
the point. All I'm saying is you as a personality in real life are a pro wrestler before you're even in the ring.
Yeah,
and people need to know straight up. The show can entertain you and become an anti-hero.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing. That's what I said. Recently, somebody asked. I was like, dude, that fucking song. I was just listening to God Forbid the other day. That's fucking awesome, dude. All right, I remember when that album came out. Sorry, we're gonna segue. When that album came out, we were like, at one point, we were kind of disappointed that they were trying to do something different with the clean vocals and stuff. But like realistically, that album still fucking kicks, bro.
Amazing.
It still fucking kicks, man.
God Forbid. What was it called?
That was Gone Forever.
Gone Forever. Yeah. Amazing.
They had like Better Days on it when they first started doing vocals and like clean vocals and stuff.
Better Days.
And it's the guitarist who's doing the clean vocals too. Both of them. Like Doc and his brother.
Yeah.
So like.
And they went to continue. They did a different band now.
Doc got into Bad Wolves. I don't know what his brother's doing. Actually, I have no idea. But like Doc is.
What's Byron doing? You think?
I have no idea.
No.
But like they are doing a reunion show. I just fucking saw that pop up
for sure.
But it's in fucking Massachusetts. Are we going?
Damn it!
But yeah. That would be fucking amazing to see, God forbid, just like play their fucking old shit, everything, and just be like, oh, fuck, that's God forbid, bro.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But what I guess what I was saying was, you are you before you get up on a stage, and you just have to amplify yourself. Yeah. Stone Cold Steve Austin was Stone Cold Steve Austin. He just channeled himself to 11.
So that's what
put himself up.
So that's what I'm saying is like I was recently asked the question of what I wanted to do. And I know for a fact that when I was a heel, I ended up getting over because I'm not, I have to be me. Okay. Yeah. And sometimes being me, I might hurt your fucking feelings and I don't give a fuck.
There you go.
So, but again, that's the reality of like, all right, that guy might say stuff I don't like, but guess what? He's fucking real. So they end up liking you because you're saying stuff that you truly believe instead of this bullshit baby face, like slap hands, Waterboy shit.
Right.
But like, again, that's Steve Austin. Like that's where that Steve Austin had that moment in life where there was this gray area where we're supposed to not like this guy.
Yeah.
But you're like, damn. I like that fucking guy. Yeah, the Punisher.
Yeah.
Again, like, that shit is cool. And again, like, it still happens. It still works. So, instead of me...
So we're here with John Bernthal, this Punisher.
I wish he could be on our fucking podcast, bro. He's got his own, man.
He does. And
he's dating Kurt Angle, or he's married to Kurt Angle's niece.
Niece, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, right?
It's insane.
Well, obviously, John Bernthal's a wrestling fan, too, so...
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like most people are.
Right.
Maybe they're not, like, emphatic, but they're like somewhat a fan to realize... The respect is there again for pro wrestling. It's been there for a while. I feel like people realize, like, oh, okay, these people literally have to act.
I feel like The Rock has helped with that tremendously.
Yeah.
Like, because he's right now at this point, look it up. The Rock is the highest paid actor in Hollywood right now.
Yeah. And I think he's been that for a while.
For a while. Yeah. So like
Chris Pratt decides to fucking make a tear again, it'll probably be up there. But he's another wrestling fan, though. So.
Oh yeah, and he's also well, he likes country music, but I like who he likes. I like Chris Stapleton.
Well, he's an actual farmer. He's on a farm.
Yeah.
So it's like him. Brock Lesnar's on a farm.
Yeah.
So these people get humbled because they like to be humbled, and they also like to work hard. And I guess that's what we already made that point several times on this show. You have to work hard to be what you want to be.
Yeah.
And it is a lot. Sometimes
nothing comes easy.
No, man. There's a part of me, I want to sleep less now. And I don't know why. And then I think about it and I go, it's because you can get more done with this music thing. Yeah. Because I have a lot in my brain that I've talked about. And, I'll show you some stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know what's going on with Patreon. I think that's something I wanted to talk to you and Lyndon about. Yeah. But we can talk about it a little bit, like how this format is. I like what we're doing, but I'm trying to push wrestlingwithmusicandlife.com and kind of just put everybody there. And if they want to donate or whatever, they can get the stuff there. And then
we need to, I think there's opportunity to do different stuff too. And I think, if we even want to do merch, like, all right, so I have Shane Hollister merch. I have wrestling.
You do have Shane Hollister?
No, I'm going to though. But what I'm saying is, all right, so Lyndon's got his stuff. Like his fucking table looks amazing. His merch is fucking great. Nar City used to print my shirts. They do a fucking fantastic job. And I know Andrew and he's great. Again, like, so all right, so me and Lyndon, we have, all right, so Lyndon does a show. I do a show. We have our separate merch, but also just, our Wrastlin with Life and Music shirt and one of our fucking, business cards. And people are like,
I would also say,
what is this?
What's really cool is Lyndon's artistic ability to make those thumbnails. They're so good.
Oh yeah, dude, they're fucking fantastic.
A thumbnail behind you guys, like I got this, and it's amazing,
dude. That's so fucking cool. By the way,
Alicia Marie, I love you.
Oh yeah,
that was the best present anybody could ever gave.
Amazing
me for my birthday. But I just want to say though, like we could have, and this is 1.0, obviously. So everything's going to get updated or whatever. But I want to say, like, especially behind you, we could probably have some cool shit. I mean, I got a guitar. I could take that down, put that.
I could put up a sweet shot of one of my. I'm going to try to find that. I have this sweet picture that a fan caught in perfect timing. Nice. That Silas Young does this thing called the Pirouette Plunge, where he puts himself upside down, swings his legs out, and does an Arabian press. When he went up and put himself upside down, I jumped up and super kicked him in the face when he was upside down in the turnbuckle.
Nice.
And I have this badass picture, and I think that would look pretty fucking rad back here. But it might not happen, but like stuff like that would look cool.
I think so. I think I just want to, let you know that Canva, if you see that picture of Alicia and Leo. I got her very cheap.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, it actually looks really good.
They'll take that, send it right to you. It'll be there in 3-4 days. Easy. Everything's easy online.
Yeah, it really is.
I guess what I'm getting at is like, we're going to do a lot with this podcast, and we've done a lot. There's a lot of people that watch this that I'm just like, dude, you watch my podcast? What the fuck?
Right.
And that's cool.
Right. I dig it.
We have a lot of different people on here, and we're going to have a lot more. We're going to try to get some sisters on here.
Yes.
Sorry.
I keep forgetting to ask.
That's okay.
Ask Heather to be on.
First sister should probably be my fiance.
Well, yes, obviously.
And we'll just have to have somebody watch the little man. Whoever that is, I'm sorry already. Because he's a terror. Leo, you. But I feel like, especially right now, I want to show you the place. He's just got here. And we can continue to go if you want.
I'm good.
I feel like this is a good podcast, especially after 4 fucking weeks.
Yes.
And check out wrestlingwithmusicandlife.com. check out everything that Lyndon has been doing. Pit Lord, Bandcamp. I don't know the exact URL, but they've been killing it. And check out Titanium Utopia, which is my new song that I have put up there. And check out everything you can check out. Shug, you got any shows up here?
I do have a show coming up next Friday. I am doing CSW. I'll be wrestling Marche Rocket. I'll send you the picture so you can, put it up. Me and Marche had worked together so many times.
Yeah.
And Marche's like taller than you. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
So I have to work different as a heel. I'm the smaller guy.
Oh, man.
So
definitely call him Marche Crotch Rocket. I don't know. We can come up with something better.
I can make somebody pop with that somewhere. Yeah. But yeah, I have that one. And then I have another show coming up. I can't really specify. So
don't say it.
I'm not. I'm going to leave it out. So,
son of a bitch.
But CSW, the 18th of November.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll be there wrestling Marche Rocket, and I had a debut with that company, and the debut actually was, people didn't see it coming.
Nice.
I beat 2 of their guys in a row, and people were like, who the fuck are you? Like, a lot of the fans didn't know who I was. But again, there is this couple that was at that show that comes to every AAW show that have been watching me wrestle since I was 17 years old.
You told us a little bit,
but it's fucking still to this day. It's fucking amazing. So
love it.
But yeah, I break for them every time. Like they're the only people that I actually high five. So fuck everybody else. But yeah. So I got that one, and then that's it. That's what I'm gonna say for now. But yes, obviously, I have other stuff that we can promote next week when we, do the podcast again.
And hopefully with Lyndon, and he was a busy man this weekend, but
and
it's
he
okay.
fucking separated his shoulder, like
during his show. He played hard as he normally does. Maybe he was finger blasting himself. I don't know, and then he broke his shoulder. I don't know.
I think he was throwing. He was like moshing during one of the sets, right?
Oh yeah, was it moshing during those?
Was
sets.
It Toxic Ruin? Is when he hurt himself?
Probably. I'm sure. Lands will be back hopefully this next weekend. But I want to say though, again, check out what we're doing. Like and subscribe. Comment below and make sure that you think about what we've been saying earlier, which is if you want to fucking get on this podcast, start doing, brothers and sisters. Start doing.
Reach out.
I'm going to take my own advice too, by the way. I need to start doing. And after this episode, I'm going to show Shug what I've been doing. And let's just say we're getting jacked. Love you guys. I'll see you next weekend.
Bye-bye.